Clifton with your host, Ray Grabowski.
Yeah, Ray! Hi everyone, welcome to Meet Clifton. The summer's over, and of course our co-host George is back with us. How are you, George?
I'm fine. I'm happy to
Good.
be back.
I hope you're looking forward to the autumn and the fall season.
I'm ready.
Because I know you're a winter person.
I'm ready.
That's good. We have an interesting show tonight. I want to get rolling. You know, the vaping crisis and the juuling crisis is upon us. You know, it's taken massive leaps with problems with health. And, you know, if you have someone, a loved one, or someone that happens to juul or vape, you might want to watch this upcoming show because we have a lot of information about it. It's taken a very negative turn to something that was supposed to be good, is now we see is very, very bad. And we have a history of Clifton coming on after that. And then after that, we have a magician, and hopefully we can make George disappear.
Thanks,
So
Ray.
stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tonight's guest star, health educator Layal Helwani, manager of Plough Farm Stand, Len Plough Saklabin, and magician Bob Mascuch. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Meet Clifton.
Well, I said my baby telegram, asking her to date the baby. Got the baby come back home to me. Well, I dried my eyes and I crossed out tears. Got the baby, got the baby come back home to me. Baby, I want your love. You know I need your love. Baby, baby, come back home to me. Got to have your love. I can't live without your love. Pretty baby, come back home to me.
Okay, welcome back. As you know, there's a big crisis in this country now with the vaping epidemic that's going on. And I think a lot of us aren't taking it as serious as we should. So with us tonight, we have Layal Helwani, the health educator for the Clifton Health Department. Welcome, Layal.
Thanks so much
Thank
for
you
having
for
me.
coming on. Vaping and this whole process, I'm going to let you take it. We need some information about the epidemic that's out there now.
All right, so at this point, you can't even turn on the news without hearing something about the vaping epidemic. We are aware of at least 550 cases in nearly 40 states of people, usually younger people and young adults, who are presenting to doctor's offices and emergency rooms with severe nausea, vomiting, coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath. Some people literally at this point cannot breathe on their own. They require the use of a ventilator. And there have been at least 8 deaths. And by the way, one of those cases, 550 cases, is actually, you know, it actually occurred here in the city of Clifton. So it really, you know, it hit close to home. And the fact that there's been 8 deaths linked to this epidemic is unacceptable. The CDC is warning people who have not vaped to not start, and for those that have vaped, to try to stop, because it's really become an epidemic, and we're starting to see the effects of vaping a lot quicker than we initially anticipated.
Right, because well, vaping is relatively new. So
Yes.
we're seeing the repercussions of
Absolutely.
it, just like cigarettes took 30, 40 years,
Yes.
we realized,
Yes.
but we're seeing it quicker now with this, right?
Yeah, within a couple of years, we're starting to see the effects of what can happen. And why those deaths are happening, we're, you know, to be honest with you, we're not exactly sure.
Right.
They think it's some contaminant in the e-liquid, whether that's the nicotine solution or the THC solution, which is what a lot of people are putting into their devices as well. But we don't know yet, and that's the scary thing.
Now, I think the president and the governor, they're on board with banning the flavored.
So yes, so there have been talks of banning flavored electronic cigarettes.
Right.
I believe the state of New Jersey is considering a full ban on electronic cigarettes, but that's still kind of in the works, and we'll see how far that goes.
And it's important. So, as far as our health department, what have we done to address the vaping issue?
So you know what? I'm proud to say that, you know, the health department has taken action to combat this epidemic, even before we started hearing about vaping in the news. Since 2016, 2017, the health department has been actively doing educational programs with both middle schools as well as the high school in both the city of Clifton and the township of Little Falls, since we serve Little Falls residents as well. And we, you know, the goal of these programs is to tell the students what we know, remind them of some of the dangers of using these devices. We talk about advertising techniques, which kind of gets them angry, we notice, because we tell them that these companies, when it comes down to it, they don't care about their health. They care more about making money off of them than their health.
Now, I know you do a lot of programs yourself.
Yes.
And in Clifton as well as Little Falls.
Yes.
And mostly students, right?
Yes.
And just a quick question, how is that received?
So, you know what, I get mixed responses. I think sometimes the middle school has kind of a difficult time understanding the long-term effects.
Right.
But now that we're
young.
starting to see it happen a lot sooner than we anticipated, you know, I was actually at Christopher Columbus Middle School last week doing programs, and it seemed like they were curious and also kind of passionate when I was discussing what we know and, you know, some of the dangers of using these devices.
Right.
But we know that education is not enough. So this summer, the health department actually reinstated its Clifton Tobacco Age of Sale Enforcement program, what we call the CTASE program.
Right.
So what that entailed is we sort of did some undercover work. Both myself and 2 underage students that we recruited, we visited approximately 94 tobacco retailers in Clifton to make sure that they are complying with the law, with New Jersey state statutes that prevent them from selling tobacco products, including e-cigs, to individuals under the age of 21. So this
How many
summer,
did we catch?
so we caught a total of 21, actually. Wow. 21 places, which is outrageous. When you think about it, that's about 1 in 5 places that's selling illegally to youth in Clifton without checking for ID. And the excuses that I got were usually the same. You know, I forgot. Oh, I always check for ID, but you know, I'm not buying it, and it's really unacceptable.
Right. Are there fines involved with this yet, or?
Yes. So the fine ranges anywhere from $250 to $1,000, and there's a mandatory court appearance. So we are still going through our court cases, appearing before the judge, and they have to answer to the judge as to why they did not check for ID. But really, the goal of this program is to keep these products out of the hands of our youth.
Right. And you would kind of hope that the retailers and store people would have a conscience and say, listen, this is hurting our children as far as adults.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it will comply. You know, we have to start somewhere. We might as well start in our own hometown.
So what happened is, if the place has failed, I would go in, introduce myself as being from the health department, and explain the program that we just did. And I would explain, you know, the fine and the penalties for not checking ID.
Right.
And if they complied, what we would do was still go in, introduce ourselves, and we would give them a decal, which we created. Well, actually, CASA, Clifton Against Substance Abuse, created it for us, and it pretty much says we support healthy choices. We do not sell to minors. So it was a nice thing that they could put on their window.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then we also are in the process of mailing out certificates, kind of just recognizing them for complying with the law and for asking for ID.
Okay.
So it's a nice thing that they get out of it.
Right, because we need to do this.
Yes, absolutely.
So moving forward, what's the next steps?
So the next steps, last week actually, a couple of members of the Clifton Health Department, the police department, a couple of school personnel, staff, including our new superintendent, they held a meeting to discuss, you know, what work needs to be done, you know, because we can't just educate. So we are working on strengthening existing policies, especially in the schools, as well as creating new policies, and we are considering the possibility of having these tobacco retailers in Clifton, you know, we have to license them, or that they have to obtain a license to actually sell these electronic cigarettes. So I think that would be a good thing, and it might actually deter a lot of people. So it's baby steps, but you know, it's very important steps for, you know,
for a serious situation.
Very serious situation, and keeping these products out of the hands of our youth.
Right. Sorry, George.
I got a question.
Sure.
Is it true that the kid, of course the kids can't buy it,
Yes.
but the kids can keep it on their body, smoke it, and they can't, nobody could take it away from them?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so
that's kind of what we're working to address.
okay, I think that's probably a big one.
Yes, they cannot purchase the device, but there's nothing that says that they can't.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
I know you're doing a great job, and
Trying.
just keep doing it, because I think a year down the road we're going to see that this is much more serious than we thought.
Yes.
And by the way, it doesn't only affect young kids. You know, adults are vaping too.
Yes.
But you know, we have to catch the kids when they're younger. Hopefully, the adults, you know, a little older now, they could ascertain for themselves what's right or wrong. But educating the kids are important. So I'd like to thank Layal for coming on.
Yeah, thank you
very much.
Of course.
This is a very big issue.
Yes.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, Clifton and friends. Welcome to the updates. Well, summer's officially over, but the fun doesn't have to stop. There are a lot of different things happening in the fall in Clifton. First of all, the Clifton Arts Center was newly renovated. They have a fantastic facility now where they will be hosting all different types of shows. So please go to the Clifton Arts Center website and see what shows will be upcoming so you can pick and choose which ones you'd like to visit. Also, Clifton is going to have at the Holy Assumption Virgin Church on the corner of Huron Avenue and Orange Ave, its first Polish Oktoberfest. There will be a Polish band, there's Polish food, German food, big dinner, and it is going to be on October 5th, Saturday night. So please call Barbara at 973-452-1233 for tickets. She would definitely would love to hear from you, and it'll be a lot of fun. So whether you want to enjoy the dinner or get up to dance, please do so. Then also Oktoberfest at Weaselbrook Park, and that is at the Vanderhoof House, and that is October 19th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And a famous Clifton band will be playing, so please come out to that. Again, that's October 19th, so come out and enjoy the good weather while we still have it for fall. And Lauren?
Hi everyone. I have some upcoming clinics from the Clifton Health Department. If you want to grab a pen and jot some of this down. The first set of dates are the flu clinics, and the dates are as follows. Thursday, October 3rd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday, October 8th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday, October 9th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Thursday, October 10th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday, October 16th from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Monday, October 21st from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday, October 23rd from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And also Wednesday, October 30th from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. All of these clinics will be held at the Clifton Health Department, located in Clifton City Hall, 900 Clifton Avenue. Flu shots are $20 unless you have Medicare Part B only. If you have any questions, you can call the health department. And also, there are rabies clinics for dogs in November. The dates are Saturday, November 9th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., Wednesday, November 13th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and November 20th, a Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. The rabies clinics will be held at Clifton Fire Station number 5, which is located on Brighton Road in Clifton. All dogs are free of charge. They are open to all New Jersey residents. And if you have any other questions, you can call the health department, or you can visit the City of Clifton's website. The health department's phone number is 973-470-5760. And also the City of Clifton's website is www.cliftonnj.org. You can also follow the health department on Facebook and Instagram, and there's a bunch of updates to catch up on.
So see, there's lots to do in Clifton, so hopefully we'll see you around town. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, welcome back. With us, we have a very interesting guest to talk about one of my favorite subjects, obviously the city of Clifton. Lynn Plough Sackleben is the manager of Plough's Farm, the farm stand in Plough's Farm. So, Lynn, welcome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Lynn Plough, of course, everyone knows Plough's Farm, and it goes back, I would think, 150 years.
Yes.
Give or take. So, tell us, how did this all originate?
It all started in 1867 when my great-grandfather, George Plough, came from Germany.
Okay.
And he purchased 100 or more acres of dairy farm. It started out as a dairy farm.
And what's left of it is still where it was originally, right?
Right. It's smaller now.
Yeah, but it was basically that whole area up there, right?
Yes.
So when he purchased this, were a lot of other farmers in the area? Because it wasn't Clifton, obviously.
There were farmers all over the area.
Any names come to mind?
Well, Schulteis was across the street, which was a Plough, because that was my grandfather's sister.
Oh, okay.
That married a Schulteis. Next door was John Plough, which was my grandfather's brother. And then Earl's was another Plough. They had a florist on Broad Street. There was George Plough, a builder, but he was one of the Ploughs. And it was all different names that.
So when your grandfather first came here and started the farm, it was a dairy farm or
It was a dairy farm.
strictly dairy?
Yep.
Okay, so obviously it's changed over the years, right? I mean, now you have the Plough's Garden Center, so
Right.
how do we bring it up to date now?
With the Plough's Garden Center.
Yeah, and of course you
Years
sold
ago, our family owned Plough's Garden Center
produce.
and sold it to a Joe Spurko. And Joe kept the name Plough because Plough was so popular.
Right.
There was so many Ploughs around, he just kept the name.
Okay.
So that is why people confuse us with Plough's Garden Center.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right. So everyone asks that. You know that. And I know we're going to show. I know you brought some pictures along and stuff of the farm. So I guess as we're speaking,
Okay.
they'll be putting them up, and I don't know what they're going to be, but I guess they'll be self-explanatory. Of course, Plough's Road, named after you.
Plough's Road was named after us because there were so many Ploughs.
Okay.
You know, it was just dedicated to us.
And so I don't know the family history. Your brother, your father, who's still left here?
My brother's alive.
Rudy,
My brother Rudy, yes.
with the dog.
With his dog. Well, he has a couple German Shepherds. You have to have those on the farm.
Yeah, I know. No.
That's a definite.
I've experienced the dog. So it was 100. How many acres was it when they first came here?
Over 100.
Over 100 acres,
Over
right?
100. And then he divided it up between his children.
So just for the people listening, where Woodrow Wilson is, was that part of the farm?
Yes.
So that whole area up there?
Yep.
Did it go as far as Valley Road?
Not quite, no. No.
So, but Woodrow Wilson was part of the Plough
Yes,
farm.
yes. And then
So-
I live on Trella Terrace behind Woodrow.
Right.
That was another Plough. Capola was another Plough.
Okay, so that whole area was the farm.
Yes.
And that was strictly dairy. When did they change over to produce?
My grandfather.
Your
which
grandfather.
was Jacob Plough.
Oh boy. Big family. Okay, so now let's get back to today. How big is the farm now?
Farm is 15 acres.
15 acres.
Yep.
And just a question, I know farms are tax exempt from things. Or do you still fit into that status where if you farm X amount of,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
something like, I don't know what it is, but a certain amount of it is farmed,
Yeah.
then there's a special tax rate for stuff like
Right.
that. I think something like Richfield and stuff,
Right.
which came along much later.
Right. Well, Richfield's, what do you mean by Richfield?
Richfield Farms.
Well, that's a lot smaller.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
50 years later.
Oh, yeah.
So on the farm, do you have a lot of old stuff that go back 150 years?
Oh, my God, we have stuff all over. Our barn is loaded. I mean,
you should display that, though. Don't you
well, we
think?
do have some in the stand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
some.
And now the stand is open for how long now? Till.
Until the end of this month.
So, and what do you do there? Corn?
We do corn, tomatoes, you name it. We have ice cream, baked goods.
All grown on the farm.
Not ice cream.
No. Well, you might have had a cow.
Right.
I was a dairy
Yeah,
farmer one
everything's grown
time.
on the
That was
farm.
years ago.
Everything's grown
was
on
years
the
ago.
farm, yes.
That was before my time. No, and I think you sell flowers too, right? At times.
Yep.
And how many people in your family still work there?
Right now, it's my nieces, Donna and Christina, which is my brother's two daughters. They
Okay.
work with me. They're my right and left hand at the farm right now.
Okay, so basically you run the whole show, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there all the time.
And Rudy does the.
Oh,
actually, he does the farm. He does
everything.
And he does everything.
He does everything. I'm
Okay.
very proud of it.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it has a good reputation. 150 years
Yep.
is a long time, considering Clifton's only 102 years old now, something along those lines. So Plough's been here a long time.
Right.
Probably has a lot of history, and I'm sure you have a lot of history with that. Someday you should have maybe something where you display it, although at the farm.
We have quite a few things at the farm showing how big it is and, different stuff there.
So if anybody's interested, stop up. And how long are you open till? The end of October?
Yeah, end of September.
And
Because
is it-
this year is short because the weather was so hot.
Yeah.
Everything's,
And then after that, you're closed for the winter.
Right,
And then
right.
you vacation.
yep.
Okay, well, Lynn, I appreciate you coming on. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
It's good to know a little bit more about our history in Clifton. even though it goes back, like I said, Clifton 102 years old, this goes back 150. That's a long time. So anybody has a chance, stop up at the farm and see what they do. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Hey girls, don't cry. They don't cry. Hey girls, don't cry. Who said they don't cry? My girl said goodbye. My oh my girl didn't cry. I wonder what. Silly boy. Shame on you, your mama said. Silly boy. Shame on you, you're crying there. Silly boy. Shame on you, told a lie. Big girls don't cry.
Okay, welcome back. We have a very interesting guest with us today. He's a magician, Mr. Bob Mascuch.
How you doing,
Bob?
How you been?
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Appreciate being here.
I guess our subject is, do you believe in magic? Some of us do, some of us don't. But when did you start doing magic? Which little background?
I started doing magic about 40 years ago. I was doing it part-time on and off. And then after a while, I gave it up. And when I retired a few years ago, I said, well, I'm getting back into it.
Okay, what type do you, there's all kinds of magic,
Yeah.
hocus pocus, things like that. But
Yeah.
what do you like?
I like doing mentalism. That's with your mind.
Okay.
They do experiments with your mind. That's what magicians do. Well, no, magicians, they do tricks.
Right.
And we all know that tricks are for kids.
Right, of course.
So mentalism, we do experiments with your mind. Try to get deep down into there.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I know you're doing magic now, supposedly full-time. What do you want to do with your magic?
Well, I would like to do it full-time now, because right now I've been doing open mic nights.
Oh, really?
I've been finding places that have comedy. And when I go there and I say, no, I do magic, and they say, oh, really? The same thing. Oh, we never had a magician here. I said, well, now you are. And they let me perform.
I guess everybody's waiting. You have a magician on, you want to see some magic. So can you do something for us tonight?
Sure. Have you ever noticed that a deck of cards and a calendar, how similar they are? Say no, Bob.
No, Bob.
All right, I will tell you why.
Some respect, George.
I'm trying.
If you take a calendar and a deck of cards, there are 52 weeks in the calendar, 52 cards. There are 4 suits, 4 seasons. Following so far?
So far.
And if you add up all the spades, hearts, club, and diamonds, what do you think they add up to?
No idea.
365
Days.
days.
Bob.
Okay.
Okay.
Bob.
Bob. So I did this. I took 7 decks of cards. You know why I took 7 decks of cards?
No,
Say
Bob.
No, Bob. You know why? Because 7 times 52 is 364.
Okay.
So I had to throw a joker in. So I took all of these cards, I mixed them up in a big bowl, like a big salad. And then I took a pocket calendar. And what I did is, when I picked out a card, whatever card that was, I wrote it on January 1st. And I kept on doing that all the way through until all the cards were done, until I got to December 31st and wrote the last card on there. So now each card appears 7 times in the calendar. In the calendar, right? Because I use 7 decks. What I would like you to do is, you don't have to give the year, doesn't matter. Just give me a month and a date.
January 1930.
No.
Not the birth date.
Not the
Pick
year.
another date.
All right, January the 30th.
30th. Okay. Now, you pick January 30th. Here I have a little pocket calendar. Inside it, there's the dates are all written down. I also had to write the days in the dates because this was a blank calendar. So what I want you to do is, you take the calendar and you look through it. There's different cards and different names on every month and every day, right?
Okay.
So find your date, January 30th.
Okay.
Okay. Say the name of the card.
4 diamonds.
4 dimes. Earlier today, no, it's not this card again.
Okay.
I took a big size playing card and I stuck it in my pocket. What if it's the 4 diamonds?
Okay.
4 diamonds is on the 30th of January, and that's the card they stuck. See, now some people think I have the whole deck. This size card, you know, it would be like a big bulge out sticking like that, but it's not.
That was
it's just
very
the one
good.
card.
Very
trick
good.
Thank you. See?
That was good.
I don't know that trick, but.
You know that trick?
No.
Oh.
Bob, if you're playing anywhere local, let us know. We'd be more than happy to advertise for you.
Okay.
So let you go out there. But thanks for coming on.
Would you like to see one more?
Sure.
Sure. I got it here. My
Trey
phone fell
uses
out.
me.
No, all right, I'll stay with him.
Please.
Stay with me.
Yeah. I got this bag from the AARP when I joined it. I didn't know what to do with it. Now I know. So you want to help me with a card trick?
Yes, Bob.
Okay, so you're learning. You ever notice when a magician says, here I have an ordinary deck of cards?
Right.
Now, if it was a trick deck, do you think they would say it's a trick deck?
No.
No, they wouldn't. Take the cards. That's one of the things I'm going to be using tonight. You can open them and take it out. Now, this trick can get a little bit dangerous.
That's what I
Are you
need.
still prepared for this?
I'm ready, Bob.
All right, so this is it.
Okay.
Ooh. You're not afraid, are you?
Not at all.
Okay. Look through the deck. You select a card, any card that you want. You know, can I sit over there next to him?
Sure.
Move over there
Yeah,
next
come
to
on.
him.
Oh,
Take that
right.
knife, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I went right.
Yeah.
Oh,
You said I was going to sit over there?
Just go there.
it's fine.
Okay. Have you select a card?
Yes.
Take this pen and write your name right. You could just be your first name. Write your name right across
The card.
card and hold it up so the camera could see it. And I'll look at the monitor. Oh, there's no monitor here, man. I can't cheat.
Nope, you can't cheat.
Okay.
Okay, we
You
have it,
done?
George. Yep, we have it, George.
Can I have the pen? See, I like this kind of Sharpies because they're like a pen. You don't have to keep pulling the cap off. Okay, that's a really nice.
Okay, Bob.
Give me the deck back. Not your card, just the deck. All right, so now you have your card. No, okay, we'll take that later. When I go like this, you say stop. Ready? You didn't say stop.
I'm not ready yet. Okay.
Right there? It's your card there. Face down. Don't do like other people do. They put it face up, you know. I'm going to bury your card. You want to hold this now? You can hold this now. You get used to the handling of it.
Yeah, might be giving that to the wrong guy.
I'm going to wrap the deck around in this paper towels. Now, what I want you to do is to find a spot along the edge, and you put that knife right through, all the way through. No, along in this
Oh,
edge.
there.
Yeah. Anywhere you want. Go right on through. Right on through. Okay. You hold the knife, and I will remove. Okay, I'll take it back now. And if you notice, there was a card stabbed
With my name
with
on
your
it.
name on it.
Very good, Bob. Very good.
That's for you as a souvenir.
That's what I
Thank
need.
you. Thanks,
Very
Bob.
good.
Okay.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Yeah, come on, baby. Why get up? How can I get up? Why should I get up? This whole world's gone crazy, think I've seen enough. I'm gonna sleep forever. Why get up? Went to the doctor, he said, lose some weight. Better quick, I have to operate. I talked to my lawyer, he said, case is closed. That woman got it all, even the garden hose.
Okay, well, that's our show for tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for coming on. I'd like to thank my co-host George for being with us again. Thank you.
Pleasure.
And remember, this juuling and vaping crisis is very big in this country now. I hope you learned a lot of information. If you have friends or loved ones that happen to partake in this particular thing, you might want them to watch this. We also like to thank our other guests for coming on, sharing us the history of Plough's farm in Clifton, and of course our magician, and well, George is still here, so apparently it didn't work. But in the meantime, be good to your friends and family, respect your neighbors, keep Clifton close to your heart. This is a great city. Thank you, God bless, and good night.